Okay, so I don't even know how to start this. Like, I've been sitting here for 20 minutes trying to figure out the right words and I can't. So I'm just gonna talk. Real talk. No script, no filter. Just me telling you exactly what happened. She's gone. Just like that. 2 years, 2 whole years of my life, and she just dipped. No fight, no conversation, no, hey, this isn't working, nothing. Just one day, she was there and then she wasn't. And bro, the worst part is I saw it coming. I saw every single sign and I ignored all of it. Every last one. So yeah, pull up, get comfortable because I'm about to tell you the whole thing from the very beginning. And I promise you, by the time I'm done, you're either gonna relate to every word or you're gonna look at someone in your life completely different. Either way, you needed to hear this. Itzo rewind. 2.5 years back, I was in a good place. Like nothing crazy exciting going on, but I was good. I had my routine, I had my boys, I was hitting the gym, work was decent, life was just moving. You know that phase where nothing's perfect, but nothing's wrong either? That was me. And then Darius, my homie Darius, shout out to him. He invites me to this get together at his cousin's spot. Nothing major, like 15, 20 people, pizza, music, somebody's playlist that kept playing the same 6 songs on repeat. Well, I almost didn't go. I was literally in my car debating whether to just go home and watch something. I'm not even joking, but I went. And she was there. Yo, buddy, I'm not gonna do the whole time slowed down thing because that's corny. But bro, I noticed her immediately. Not in a loud way. She wasn't the center of attention or anything. She was just sitting in the corner, phone in hand, laughing at something, by herself, completely in her own world. And I don't know what it was. I genuinely don't. But something about that, just her being unbothered, not performing, not trying to be seen, that got me. I nudged Darius. I go, yo, who's that? He looks back at me, and without missing a beat, he goes, nah, bro, don't. Just like that. Nah, bro, don't. And I laughed it off. I said, relax, bro, I'm just asking. But he knew. He clocked me before I even clocked myself. I should have listened to him. I really should have. We talked that whole night. Like, the whole night. Every time I thought the conversation was gonna die, she'd say something that just pulled me right back in. She was funny, man. But not like, trying to be funny. It was that dry, quiet kind of humor where she'd say one thing with a straight face and you'd be losing it. And she'd just look at you like, what? Like, she didn't even realize she was hilarious. She had opinions, real ones. Not just, oh yeah, I agree type stuff. She'd push back. She'd say, nah, I actually think that's wrong and here's why. And I was like, okay, respect. By the end of the night, I had her number. And walking to my car, I remember thinking, this girl is different. Not, she's pretty different. Not, she's fun different. Like, genuinely, actually different. The kind of different that makes you want to know everything. And that right there, that was the beginning of the best thing that ever happened to me. And also, I say this with full honesty, the beginning of me losing myself. Okay, so the next few months, and I need y'all to not judge me for this, okay? Because I know how this sounds, but just hear me out. I became a lot. Like, I was fully, completely, 100% down bad. FR, my boys would text me to hang and I'd be like, nah, I think she might be free tonight. She hadn't even said anything. I was just keeping myself available, just in case. I rearranged my whole schedule around a person who never asked me to. Gym? Dropped it. Not right away, but slowly. Slowly the sessions got shorter, then less frequent, then basically gone. Because either I was with her, or I was tired from staying up late talking to her, or I was just mentally somewhere else. Work? I was physically present but checked out half of the time. My boss pulled me aside once. Literally said, you good? You seem distracted. And I gave him some excuse about not sleeping well. The real answer was I'd been up till 3 a.m. on a phone call and couldn't stop thinking about this girl. And here's the thing, she was worth it. At the time. That's what made it so complicated. She wasn't some villain. She wasn't doing anything bad. She was just her. And I had assigned her this whole role in my life that she probably didn't even fully know about. That's on me. I see that now. But back then I thought that's just what love was. You go all in, you show up completely, you make them the center. Nobody told me the center can't hold if only one person is building it. But here's where I need you to really pay attention. Because somewhere around month 5, something changed, and I felt it in my gut. You know that feeling when something's off but you can't explain it? Like the temperature in the room dropped but nobody touched the thermostat? Yeah, that. Stay with me, because this next part is where it gets real. It started with texts. They just took longer. Like, where before she'd reply in 5 minutes, now it was an hour, then a few hours, then sometimes the next day. And every time I'd see that notification, I'd feel this little jolt of relief. Like, okay, she's still there, we're okay. Then the calls got shorter. We used to talk for hours. Then it was 30 minutes, then 15, then, hey, I'm actually kind of tired tonight. Can we talk tomorrow? Tomorrow would come. She'd be tired again. Plans started falling through. Not dramatically, just something came up. I forgot I had this thing. Can we reschedule? Sure, of course, no worries. Corey. And bro, I kept saying no worries every single time. No worries, I got you. Take your time. But on the inside, I was tracking everything. I noticed every delayed response, every canceled plan, every conversation that felt just a little more surface level than the last. I had this whole mental spreadsheet running that I'd never admit existed. Marcus, my other homie, he asked me one day, real casual, "Yo, when's the last time she planned something for y'all?" And I started to answer and just stopped. I couldn't remember. Every date, every plan, every, hey, let's do this. That was me. Always me. She'd show up, she'd have fun, she was present when we were together, but she never initiated. Not once in, I don't know how long. That hit different when I realized it. But you know what I did with that information? I tried harder. Yeah, instead of pulling back, I pushed forward. I figured if I could just remind her of what we had, if I could recreate those early months, she'd come back fully. So I started doing more, surprising her, showing up, being more thoughtful, more attentive, more everything. And sometimes it worked. She'd warm up. Things would feel normal for a week, 2 weeks, and I'd think, see, we're fine. I was overthinking. And then the fade would start again. 8 months of this cycle, bro. 8 months of chasing someone who kept walking just fast enough that I could never quite catch up. Okay, so, October. We had plans. Just dinner, nothing fancy. Her choice of restaurant, a Tuesday night. I'd been looking forward to it because things had been off for a while, and I genuinely thought maybe if we just had a normal night together, things would click back into place. I got dressed, drove over, got a table, ordered water, started looking at the menu. She never showed up. I waited for 2 hours. 2 hours. I texted once at the 45-minute mark. Just, hey, on your way? Nothing. I called at the hour-and-a-half mark. Rang out. No callback. The waiter came by like 4 times with that look. You know the look. That, I feel so bad for you right now. Look. And I kept saying, she's on her way. Traffic probably. I said that out loud. To a stranger, while fully knowing, somewhere deep down, that she wasn't coming. I eventually just ordered food, ate alone, paid the bill, tipped well because I didn't want the waiter to feel bad for me, which is a wild thing to be thinking about in that moment, but that's where my head was. Drove home in silence. She texted the next morning, and I want you to really hear what she said because this is important. OMG. I totally forgot. I'm so sorry. Been so overwhelmed lately. That's it. No call, no real explanation. No, can I make it up to you? Just forgot. With a sad emoji. 2 years. And I got a sad emoji. And I replied, it's okay. Long pause. It wasn't okay, but I said it anyway, because that's what I always did. I made it okay, I absorbed it and made it okay so she wouldn't feel uncomfortable, so she'd stay. That night, I didn't text her before bed for the first time in almost 2 years. And I laid there in the dark and I thought, when did I become this person? When did I start accepting this as normal? When did I get so scared of losing someone that I let them treat me like I was optional? I didn't sleep much that night, and I know what some of you are thinking right now. You're thinking, why didn't you just leave? Why didn't you just walk away? An honest answer, because walking away felt like giving up on something real. on 2 years, on who she was at the beginning, on who we were. But here's what I didn't understand yet. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is accept that something is already over. I wasn't there yet, but I was getting close. Things stumbled along for a few more weeks after the restaurant thing. Sparse texts, awkward check-ins, both of us kind of going through the motions. And then one day, she just stopped. No warning, no conversation, no, hey, I think we need to talk. She just went quiet. I texted twice that week. Nothing. Called once. It rang. She didn't pick up. No callback. That was it. Yacht home. 2 years, 3 months, 14 days. Gone. And bro, being ghosted is its own specific kind of pain because it doesn't have an ending. With a breakup, there's a conversation, there's an ending, there's something you can point to and say, that's when it was over. With ghosting, you're just left holding everything. All the questions, all the things you never got to say, and no place to put any of it. You don't even know what to call yourself. Are you single? Are you broken up? You're just nothing. A person who used to matter to someone who decided you weren't worth a conversation. I wrote her the message. Y'all know the message, the long one. The one where you lay everything out. What she meant, what happened, what you deserved. I wrote it probably 12 different times. Different versions, some angry, some sad, some calm, some that were honestly just get embarrassing in retrospect. Never sent a single one. Because I knew that if she wanted to talk, she would have talked. If she wanted to explain, she would have explained. Sending that message wasn't going to get me answers. It was just going to make me look like I was still waiting. And something in me finally decided I was done waiting. Okay, so that was chapter 1. And yeah, chapter 1 was rough. I'm not going to pretend it wasn't. That was a hard few months, some of the hardest I've had. But chapter 1 isn't why I'm telling you this story. Chapter 2 is why I'm telling you this story. Because chapter 2 is where everything changed. And I mean everything. First 2 weeks after I accepted it was over, I'm not going to sugarcoat this, I was rough. I'd wake up and my first instinct every morning was to check my phone. Old habit, 2 years of reaching for it first thing. Takes time to unlearn that. But week 3, I went back to the gym. Not because I was motivated, not because of some big epiphany. I went because I had all this energy and emotion and nowhere to put it, and I needed to physically be somewhere doing something or I was going to drive myself crazy. First session back, I could barely do half of what I used to. Like the numbers I was moving before, embarrassing compared to where I was. 2 years of inconsistency had taken their toll. I didn't care. I went back the next day. And the day after that, I called Marcus. First real conversation. Like, actually real. Not, yeah bro, I'm good. First real one in months. Told him everything. He just listened. Didn't say I told you so. Didn't lecture me. Just listened, and then he said, and I think about this all the time. The version of you that accepted that, that's not you, bro. That was you scared. You're not that guy. Simple. But it landed. I started actually sleeping, getting off my phone at a reasonable time, eating better, not diet bro stuff, just actually cooking instead of eating trash because I was too in my head to care. I started reading again, which I hadn't done in like a year. Picked up some things I'd been putting off. None of this was glamorous, none of it was some big transformation moment. It was just small stuff. Boring, quiet, small stuff. Every single day just choosing to treat myself like I mattered. And somewhere around the 60-day mark, I looked in the mirror, and I felt like myself. Not fixed, not healed completely, but like present. Like I was actually in my own body again instead of just orbiting around someone else's life. That felt like everything. 3 months after the ghost. I'm at the gym, I'm mid-set, phone buzzes on the bench next to me. I glance down. It's her. Hey, stranger. I put the phone face down. Finished my set, did 2 more, took a breath. Hey, stranger. 2 years and 3 months and I'm a stranger. No context, no apology, no acknowledgement that she literally disappeared without a word. Just, hey, stranger. With a smiley face, old me. The version that was checking his phone every 5 minutes, rearranging his whole schedule, eating alone at restaurants, waiting for someone who wasn't coming. Old me would have replied before I even finished reading that message. I would have been like, hey, how are you? Extra letters and everything, erasing everything, just for the chance to have her back. I put the phone in my bag, drove home, made dinner, watched something, went to sleep. Never replied. 2 weeks later, another one. I miss you. I know I messed up. Can we talk? And I sat with that one. Longer. For real, I sat with it. Because I'm not going to stand here and tell you I felt nothing. That would be a lie. You don't give 2 years to someone and feel zero when they say I miss you. Something moved. Of course it did. But, and this is the thing I needed y'all to understand, feeling something and acting on it are two completely different things. I felt it. And then I asked myself, if I replied right now, what am I actually going back to? The same person who stood me up and sent a sad emoji? The same cycle that had me shrinking for 8 months? The same version of myself that I worked so hard to walk away from? I put the phone down, never replied to that one either. Aight, so if you've been with me this whole time, first of all, respect. You stayed, and I want to leave you with something real. Not motivational poster stuff, not you got this king type energy. Actual stuff I learned the hard way. Number 1, you cannot love someone into choosing you. You can be the most attentive, most thoughtful, most understanding person in the world, and if someone doesn't want to be with you, fully, consistently, without you having to beg for basic effort, all that love goes nowhere. You're pouring into a container with a hole in the bottom. Doesn't matter how much you pour. Number 2, staying when you should leave isn't loyalty. It's fear. I thought I was being loyal, being patient, being the guy who doesn't give up. I was scared. Scared of being alone, scared that what we had was the best I was going to get. That fear kept me in something that was slowly taking pieces of me I wasn't even aware I was losing. Number 3, the comeback isn't always growth. When she hit me with I miss you, that wasn't her realizing my value after deep personal reflection. That was her noticing I stopped being available and wanting the option back. There's a difference, and confusing the two will get you right back in the same cycle. Number 4, being alone is not the worst thing. The worst thing is being with someone and feeling invisible. The worst thing is shrinking yourself to fit someone else's comfort. The worst thing is forgetting who you were before someone made you feel like you had to earn your place. Alone, actual alone, I found myself again. And that version of me, he's worth a lot more than what I was accepting. Now, Tanki, last thing. If you're in the middle of this right now, if you're in that cycle, if you're the one waiting on the text, if you're the one making excuses for someone who keeps letting you down, I'm not going to tell you to just leave. I know it's not that simple, but I want you to ask yourself one question. When did you last feel like yourself? If you have to think about it, that's your answer. If this hit you somewhere real, drop a comment. Doesn't have to be deep, even just chapter 1 if that's where you're at. I read them. If you know someone who needs this right now, not in a shady way, just genuinely send it to them. No caption. They'll know. Like if you stayed till the end. And if you want chapter 2, because trust me, the story goes further, subscribe. I'll be back. Take care of yourself out there. No cap. Peace.